Hello, church. We're looking at 1 Kings chapter 8 today for our daily Bible reading. Word of the day is kept. As Solomon is making this dedication, this prayer to God, the temple is now complete. He calls on not Israel's faithfulness to keep their word, but God's faithfulness. So let's pick up in verse 22 through 26 and see what it has to say. Then Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the assembly of Israel and spread out his hands toward heaven. And he said, Lord God of Israel, there is no God in heaven above or on the earth below like you. You keep your covenant and your mercy with your servants who walk before you with all their hearts. And you have kept what you promised your servant David my father. You have both spoken with your mouth and fulfilled it with your hands, as it is this day. Therefore, Lord God of Israel, now keep what you promised your servant David my father, saying, You shall not fail to have a man sit before me on the throne of Israel. Only if your sons take heed to their way, that they may walk before me as you have walked before me. And now I pray, O God of Israel, let your word come true, which you have spoken to your servant David, my father. Obviously, the prayer continues and goes on, but the beauty of this fact that God is reliable, that God is trustworthy, that God keeps his promises was true in 1000 BC when Solomon wrote this, and it is true today, and it'll be true for 1,000,000 years into the future. Our God does not lie. Our God keeps his promises and his covenants. Let's remember that. Let's rejoice in that. Let's take comfort and solace that we can trust our God. All right, church, be encouraged today. God keeps his word.